A few people waiting. If you are brand new, this is my first time. I'm Amanda Joy with Sublime Pottery. And so I don't like the waiting for a lot of people to get on, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the piece that I showed off last night or this morning. And so one thing I'm going to do is describe the feel of these scents. Y'all get a good sense of the showed off last night or this morning. And so one thing I'm going to do is describe the feel of these scents. Y'all get a good sense of the showed off last night or this morning. Okay, I'm getting like a 30-second delay, so I had to turn the volume down. Thank you, Kristen. So this is a deliciously comfortable mug. These new shapes that I'm beginning to do give you a little bit of extra grip and a real gentle kissing rim that kind of kisses the edges of your lips, and a handle that just fits perfectly with this beautiful mug. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but my husband was calling it Strawberry Hills. I like that. With a rich pink interior. Okay. And we've got a molten cheetah and another gorgeous shape. And this is a fairly light mug too. These are average size for those of you who have been with me for a while. Again, another exceptionally comfortable handle. I am beginning to make some heftier mugs, and I'll show one of those off now. So these handles are a little bit thicker. The other night, I was just pondering that as I was handling and wondered about the oval, and I looked up the golden ratio oval, or an oval in the golden ratio, and it looks really very similar. So anyway, I did 4 of these, and this is kind of on a dad mug. These are a little bit heftier. The bases are very cuppable, and the handles are awesome. You know, kind of a dad bod shape. But these are ridiculously comfortable, and I wanted to make it look like either a beer or a root beer and kind of just give a dad mug feel. And so I've got four of these that are going into one listing. And so the pieces that I've made multiples of going into one listing, since I don't have to take the time to measure and list each of these individually, I get to take $10 off of these. And a nice red interior. Okay, here's the mug that I saw last night that I had to unload the rest of the kiln. Look at this. This may be the most perfect mug that I've ever made in my entire life. It's just not complicated. The balance is absolutely perfect. The handle is delicious. It's huge. I'm not exactly sure how much this is going to hold, but yeah, just a perfect balance and a beautifully smooth base. Okay, here's another that was in the thumbnail. It is happiness. This load is just absolutely magical. Thank you for popping on, Kirsten. This one's a little bit chaotic, but I love this. So this is a new form that I've made, just a real simple divot cup. I'm not exactly sure how large these are, but I've made the bases really comfortable to cup in your hands. And I tried to make the divots each a little bit different. So no matter which hand you're holding it with, hopefully you'll find just that perfect divot with a nice little drip on the inside. Okay, an experiment on a really lovely gourd mug, barely flared gourd mug with a very gentle kissing rim. And thank you, Joe. And again, just a really delicious 4-finger handle and a very lovely cuppable base. A Fermunda mug. Is that a body part? Might be. I'm a Scorpio. Tell me what Fermunda is, Joe. Okay. And another Green Mountain Midnight mug on another gourd shape with a gentle kissing rim. Fairly light for the size. And just a nice simple black interior. Golly. So I looked last night, not one drip. Not one. It is almost, it's the least flawed load I've ever created. Okay, this is a Green Mountain Magic mug. And it looks a little bit chaotic, but you know, nature is like that sometimes. This has a very large, very smooth base with just a delicious curve. I'm trying to make these delineations between the wall and the floor very smooth to just make them comfortable to hold in as many different ways as possible. Okay, and I've got 4 of these. These are Desert Oasis. These are divot. They are like these divot cups, but I added handles. You know, not necessarily the most, you know, gorgeous shape I've ever made, but gorgeous, very gorgeous feeling. And the bottoms again. The bottoms on most of these are absolutely delicious and very smooth with a really interesting turquoise interior and a really delicious handle. And these have a little bit more heft for the size, but I did that on purpose. I wanted these to be really grounding mugs. Yeah, I do too. You know, Tracy, I used to use this color a lot back in 2017, 2018. And, you know, I had to order it and it just kind of fell out of my rotation until recently when I'm ordering other glazes from that consistently. So it's back in rotation. And so there will be 4 in this listing, and they're all very similar. But they all are individual. Okay. So this mug is this is a Wells family mug. I made this form week before last, and I brought it inside because it's a chunk. It's really hefty, but I could not bring myself to thin it down anymore. I liked the shape, so I brought it into the house to have the rest of the family feel it, and everybody else just like really had an attachment to this form. And so I said, well, this will be our family Christmas present. And so this will be the mug that everybody drinks when they're needing some, you know, some grounding and comfort. And so I'm really excited about that. All right, next shelf. What have we got? Okay, this was an experiment. I'm familiar with all the glazes. I have just never put them together in this way before. That is a trip. Should I do this again? Uh, okay. This is a little bit hefty at the bottom. The handle definitely can easily, it's comfortable. The handle's comfortable with this extra weight. So if you like the heftier mugs at the base, which my husband does, I don't. So I consider that, you know, something to avoid. But I'm beginning to learn that a lot of people really like the hefty bases. So this one is a hefty base, but not too much. I'm going to gander that this still weighs less than the volume it holds, which is generally, I go for 20% less weight than the volume it holds. That's my ideal. But I am beginning to make heftier mugs, and I will definitely state that in the listings. This one is a little bit hefty for its size. Okay, this one is interesting. This was an experiment. So these were very similar in the beginning. This one I played with for about an extra hour after I got this, you know, under part done. So I wanted to see, is there a big difference if I play lighter or really go all out? And it seems very clear that the answer is a solid yes. So, yeah. This one is, there are a few in here, I'm going to let you know, guys, that are top shelf, above top shelf plus. They are as close to perfect as I've ever made. But that being said, on the other end, like, these mugs are going to be under $60, I believe. So maybe $1 under 60, but so I'm going to have, leading into Christmas, I'm going to try to have one listing like that that is, you know, at a good starter price point. Okay, so this was, I think I pressed too deeply in this twist. Okay, this was kind of an experiment. It feels interesting. It's a little bit more that way. I'll probably knock a little bit off for that because my new focus beyond glazing is extreme comfort. Like, I was pondering home and what home feels like pretty deeply in this load, and I'm feeling it beginning to come out in these pieces. Okay, this is a Starry Night variation. And so I gotta say, the next batch that I do, I am gonna start being a little bit more playful with the mountains in some of these older combos. Because, you know, look at the mountain in this. There we go. It's just much more interesting than a V. And so I'm gonna probably, I'm gonna try it out. Okay, we've got an amber flow. It's got a few little texture spots on it, mostly in this crystal texture. It's sort of a feature of the glaze, but I glazed it thinner than last time, and so it got closer to the original one that I did. That's always the thing. I'll make a first of something that's just absolutely amazing. Fortunately, I took thorough notes and took photographs before I fired. And so that should make it easier to try again. Okay, another experiment. All right, this is a little bit of a goofball. Thank you, Michelle. I love making it. And over the last few months, I've got a new bloom of creative inspiration. So I'm probably not gonna do this one again. It's a little bit prettier in from my eye. It's showing up a little washed out. So it does look like you will probably, well, you may be able to pick it up. I got a new camera. Right in this gold, we've got a little bit of a crackle feature going on. Well, you know, there were years of that for me, years and years. And, you know, lots of like, what? Just, I had to get okay with not feeling like I'm wasting anything. Mm. Just a lovely, lovely new wave with that delicious turquoise interior. Is really lovely to hold. Not too heavy. It's got a really wide base, so it doesn't like cup in a curved way, but there's some nice touch points, and I softened the delineation between the floor and the wall on this. So those of you who have been with me for a while and get something in this batch, I think you're going to notice a difference in the handles and the bases. Okay, we've got 2 more sets of 4. And these are normally a B combo, which the Bs normally run around $90. But since they're in 4, I can take $10 off of each one. And I just can't tell you how incredibly comfortable these are. I may have to collect one because I usually love the handles, but I am not missing the handles at all in these. And the rims are nice and thick. I'm trying to focus even more on the rims. I don't want them too thin. They look elegant, but they don't feel soft and soothing. Ooh, icing. So anyway, I've got 4 of these glazed similarly, and they will all be in one listing. This load, you guys. I don't know how much of it's translating. I got a new camera. And so there's probably, you're seeing it a little bit more clearly. So maybe that's helping it translate, but goodness, you guys. Okay, I played with kind of a hybrid between a bowl and a broth bowl, or a sipping bowl, or a broth, I don't know. Anyway, it's got a very wide base. I tried to curve it a little bit. It's got divots, so you can hold it in a variety of different ways. And on all of these, I think that there is one spot that dips out a little bit more that you can really get that last bit of soup out. And so, well, Michelle, these are new, and I don't use this word very much because it's overused, but I'm kind of obsessed with the shape. Okay, and so 4 of these. And if there is anything that y'all would like to see again before I show you the last couple in the kiln, if you want to post what you'd like to see again, I'll show it off before I go. And I'll start hot water testing and getting these all lined out for Janet in the morning. And so this is another, one of my collectors was liking the Green Mountain, but they were always in really large mugs. And so I made one that is a little bit more reasonable of a size. Well, I want these to feel like they just grew, like the handles grew out of the form, and yeah, that they just kind of grew that way, because they kind of did. And so I want to talk about these handles real quick. If you've noticed that I've changed, used to they would go down into a sharp V, and I began smoothing these out because I want there to be another touch point. I've added another touch point onto these handles for, you know, just extra grip. And then for those of you who are new, I pull from the bottom to make the curve of the bottom fit. And so you can cup them. I want these to be the most comfortable mugs that you've ever held. Like, I want them to feel like home. Hi, you know, Karen, God, I was thinking about you as I was making these new mugs. Like, yeah. Are you just popping on because I have a few that I think you would like to see. This isn't a shape that you normally like. But look at this. This might be your new replacement for Starry Night. And I cannot tell you, I'm really excited. Like, I cried when I held some of these pieces, because all of this deep home, you know, since I started wearing my robe in the studio, I started doing other things in the studio because I felt at home. I felt at home in my robe. And so instead of having my earphones on all the time like I have lately, my husband bought me a DeWalt portable speaker, like big speaker. And so I'm blasting the music that I used to love listening at home when I was cleaning house, or just, you know, being in a productive state. And so I did a lot of that while making these pieces. And the amount that it translated into the feel of these mugs is something that I can't translate, but God, there is not one piece. The bowls, the sipping broth bowls are, I'm going to be playing with that shape even more to make those like cupping bowls to be so comfortable. What was some of the music? Little dee da la 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 la. A lot of Joan Baez, Janice Ian. I listened to Jimmy Spheris. You know, a lot of those albums, Mom, that we listened to, there was this memory that I had. I'm going to write about it in the newsletter. Of it was like a new apartment, and Dida from Diamonds and Rust was playing, and you had a blue bandana on and like a duster, and you were just dusting and dancing around, and it felt so like a new space that was filled with promise, and you seemed so happy, and you were kicking up the dust, and it was evening, and these bands of light were shimmering the dust, and it was just such a magical moment. And that was the first time that I felt like this is what home is. And so that was one of the memories that kept playing in my mind. And so I played a lot of the music from that. But this one reminds me a little bit of Fish or the Grateful Dead. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, is there anything that anybody would like to see before I go and hot water test these. Let me just look at these bases. Look at them. They're so beautiful. Very cozy. Very, very, very cozy. Okay, well, nobody is saying anything, and thank you, Michelle. I love every single one that you've showed. Yeah. Okay, well, wow. I hope this is the new normal, because I did spend a great deal of time on everything. And these pieces, some of them will be a little bit more than normal because of all of the extra time I put into the actual feel of the mug, which, you know, for the most part, were comfortable to begin with, but I want them to be comfortable. So, okay. I hope you'll have a wonderful night or morning, afternoon, day if you're going to be watching this later. So the restock is going to be on November 16th at noon, and little information about the future. The restock after that will be, I believe, on Saturday after Thanksgiving in the United States at noon, and that will be what used to be a wonky stock, but will just be a holiday sale. And there will be no terrible misfits, lots of tester pieces that y'all have never seen. And it's going to be a very, very good sale. And then the week after that, I normally have a 2-week break between restocks, but that would have put the last restock at like December 14th. And so Janet and I talked, and we're going to have it the next week after. So I think that'll put it around December 4th. And I'm going to try to make that a big load and give plenty of time for y'all to be able to get pieces shipped out, hopefully even international, but I can't promise that. And then my plan is on Christmas morning to list a load. So, you know, if you weren't able to get a piece and you're at Christmas morning and you wanted to get one for your partner, y'all could pop onto the page and see if you can find something that you like that day. I'm going to hopefully try to get as many good pieces. It is going to be posted on YouTube. I think that this is what I'm going to begin doing. I had a big influx of people recently, and they're not on YouTube or not on Facebook. And so I loved doing the videos on Facebook, but it just isn't accessible for a lot of people. And so even if somebody doesn't have a YouTube account, they're still able to, oh, sorry, they're distracted. They're still able to see it, whether they're signed up or not. And so, and also newsletter. If you go to sublimepottery.com, I think there's a link in here that goes to the update page. But if you go to the home page, you can sign up for the newsletters. And I've been doing a lot of fun stuff in the newsletters lately, like little secret giveaways, or posting self-care tips, or I've got a YouTube playlist that's cozy up and chill movies that I found that remind me of, like, before you had cable, Saturday afternoon, it's raining, you're bored, and you just like go to channel 34 or whatever the higher number public TV channels are, and there's a movie that is, you don't know about it, but you end up watching it and it ends up being really good. So, just little things like that to help you make the most out of your mug or your self-care time. If you don't have a Sublime Pottery mug, I still want you to have value in it, in the channel. So sign up for the newsletter, and I'm going to be posting a little surprise something, not this newsletter, but the next one that I've never done before. I'm really excited. It's going to be a little, not a scavenger hunt, but I'm going to hide something somewhere. Anyway, so lots of stuff going. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to that. I'm going to start doing this more and maybe posting more videos. Things are pretty busy right now with the influx, but anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go hot water test these. Yeah, you know what, Lauren? I have gotten that a lot from people. So I'm going to post a post on YouTube that says, that when the next live video is going to be, and hopefully have it all scheduled. This was much easier than I anticipated. And then I'll probably post it on Facebook too, just letting people know to come on over here. And so my first live video, I'm so glad that y'all popped on over, and it looks like we got a couple of trolls that popped on too. So that is one thing to contend with, but just ignore them. Anyway, it's Sunday night. I'm going to get hot water testing, and then I am going to go back in and relax. And we're going to take pictures tomorrow, and I will have the preview album up on Facebook and linked to the updates page on sublimepottery.com on Tuesday afternoon. So anyway, have a good one. Bye, y'all. I don't know how to end this. Maybe the X.